away from Tarkowski. Matoma. It's Matoma! Well, history was waiting for him there, and it clips off the crossbar.
Well, Mr. Dependable for Everton for so often. James Tarkowski just gets caught out with the ball over the top. There's been a lot of Jack Grealish coming into this game. But this fella for Brighton has got real quality. Just misjudges there, Tarkowski. But that is class. Very unlucky with the finish. The skill here initially, he knows he's not going to be able to take that forward. Fools the two Everton defenders. Keeps his eye on it all the way down. And almost a goal of the season contender. After, for me, probably scoring the goal of the season last season.
Yeah, the worst run ever for a centre-half. He's come from the left wing. I don't think O'Brien spoke to Tarkowski and the right person in the right place for Brighton, but unfortunately didn't find the top corner this time.
So is that what used to happen? He's gone by. You'd always blame Coleman for that?
100%, yeah. I'd be looking around and shouting at him.
He's always got an angle, Jamie, hasn't he?
Speaking the voice of experience, he must have done that many times.
Yeah, I cannot. In this city, but also to read between the lines.
There's Van Hecker. Albion with the best chance of the game so far. Finding their rhythm again here. Vifa. Trezeguet looking to tidy up. He's lost out though to Yankuba Minte. Minte across the face of goal, and Danny Welbeck in front of the south stand turns the ball over. But two big chances for Brighton and Hove Albion.
Well, it should be 1-0. Everton very unfortunate. Brighton haven't taken the lead, and I said the two wide players could cause Everton real problems today. Minte and Matoma. Guy's got to be stronger there, he has to be. But the final pass is half a yard behind Danny Welbeck, and he can't just quite sort his feet out and put the away team 1-0 up front.
Huge chance for Danny Welbeck, operating in that number 9 role in place of the injured Jorginho Rutter today. Into double figures for goals last season, Danny Welbeck, but couldn't open his account for the campaign there. A warning though for Everton, 2 warnings for Everton.
Yeah, initially the chance comes from a sort of little pocket between the lines where you're not quite sure if the centre midfield player should be picking the Brighton player up or the fullback should come in. And then the ball goes wide, of course, is Everton a problem. But the first corner of the game, certainly for Everton.
The corner forced by Jack Grealish. Tarkowski makes his way forward. Michael Keane also in the mix, one of the best finishers at the club. Jake O'Brien there too. It's James Garner who stands over this set piece at the north stand end of this stadium. It's struck towards that near post where Danny Welbeck was making himself busy alongside Tieno Barry.
Yeah, we know strong Everton are on set pieces. Tarkowski, for me, as good as anybody in the Premier League this time. Goes into Barry. He'll just be relieved that it's still 0-0.
Yeah, reunited with Alan Irvine, who was alongside him in that Everton dugout. David Moyes. Fabian Herzler will be delighted with the way Albion have settled down here into this contest, but frustrated that they haven't taken one of their chances. Trezeguet in the way. There's Dunk. Just like that ball to try and pick out Matoma, there's Lewis Dunk. Just drops behind him this time. But they are a clever team, of Brighton. We've seen that in the last season under Fabian Hurtler and before he arrived. Clever club as well, once again turning over a profit, some £200 million in profit in the last couple of years. Dewsbury Hall, there's Grealish. It's Jack Grealish, and it's in the far post! Illiman and die! History made! Everton's first goal at their new iconic waterfront home! And it's a sound so loud, it almost blew the roof off into the Mersey behind us!
Well, a first piece of real quality from Everton. But it starts with the centre forward. He's found it tough holding the ball up, but does really well initially. And that's where the attack comes from. If your centre forward can hold the ball up, you've got a chance. And then it comes to Jack Grealish. He's had 2 or 3 opportunities, and this time he goes past them. Great quality from the new man. He's the player the Evertonians have been excited to see. And he showed them why. But the man who finishes it off was Everton's best player last season also, so let's not forget about him. But that is typical Jack Grealish. Draw the defender in, just go him. And leaves his mate with an open goal. And I said it was pure relief before. Now it's just pure joy for David Moyes.
Well, he just loves a grand occasion, a royal blue occasion. He scored the final goal at Goodison, and he struck the first here at Everton's new home. Illiman Ndiaye writes his name into the bricks and mortar of this new football palace. It can never be taken from him.
It's the first time we've seen Barry get hold of the ball. He struggled, Barry, initially in this opening 25 minutes. 3 or 4 occasions when the ball's come up to him and hasn't stuck. And that was the first time it did, and that's what gives you the opportunity to get midfield runners, people running past him. And then they were finally at the Brighton back four.
Exactly why Jack was brought in. You know, we were struggling all pre-season to find someone to take on the defence. He's took him on, smashed it across. A lot of people may have expected him to roll it across, but I think again Jack showed his ability. He's lifted the ball in, and to be fair, Elliman's done so well to get a contact because the ball was absolutely fizzling.
I mean, it's typical Jack Grealish in that when you see the initial ball come to him, he looks like he's in, but he almost waits for the defender to come back. He almost likes that contact and that feeling of being 1v1 rather than actually bursting away from someone.
He's so comfortable in those situations, and the more obviously the lads get to play with him, hopefully, in Everton's perspective, the more goals he'll create.
Well, a bitter blow for Brighton, who started this contest well. There's Illiman Ndiaye looking to drive at Brighton again. Able to smuggle it through to Iribunen. De Kuiper. Well, he's a showman, is Illiman Ndiaye. So too on the other flank is Jack Grealish. And they have both walked onto this stage and owned this stage, firing Everton in front. The assist from Grealish, and Ndiaye with the finish. And the Everton fans here remembering Michael Jones, who passed away while helping to build this stadium. An Evertonian who was so happy to be part of building this place. And there is a mooring outside here which is painted royal blue and has Michael's name on it. A lasting tribute. Michael Jones, forever Everton. There's Yankuba Minte. That's O'Reilly looking to try and open Everton up.
Yeah, just got the ball in between the lines. That's happened a lot in the first half. If Brighton have picked up the ball in these type of areas, just wasn't quite sure what that was in the end. Pass or a shot. Almost looked like Danny Welbeck felt the same as well.
Ndai looking to try and hold off De Kuyper, who holds on to Ndai, and Everton get the free kick. And Ndai fancies himself against Max De Kuyper, and even more so now with the Brighton left-back being booked.
Yeah, being there yourself as a defenders, haven't we, Phil, where you get too tight to the attacker and, you know, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, and he's on a yellow now for the rest of the game. What's that, 60 more minutes, and I'm sure Ndai will be licking his lips and going him every time he can.
Well, he's very much a modern-day fullback, is Maxime De Kuyper. Very attack-minded, questions asked in Belgium at times about his defensive qualities. O'Brien the target here, and the target's been found. O'Reilly's done well. There goes Baliba. Minte the furthest forward here. Commits the foul.
It was a great ball from Baliba. Jordan, Pickford. And then backtracked. Just silly decision really for Minton in the middle. Give a foul away. That's maybe Matoma coming down the far side. But there's still plenty in this for Brighton. The manager will be disappointed if they find themselves 1-0 down. Being the better team, probably had the better chances.
And he is one of the brightest young coaches in the game. Fabian Hürzeler, 32 years of age. And his mantra is, challenge the establishment. It's written all over Brighton and Hove Albion's training grounds, to challenge the establishment. That's his way of thinking. That's what he believes Albion can do. That's what they have done.
Yeah, really brave move. Probably typical Brighton to do something a little bit different, out of the ordinary, in terms of buying players, also bringing managers in. They had a great season last season, and just unfortunate, weren't they? One of the biggest rivals wins the FA Cup and keeps them out of Europe, but they had a great season, certainly for that manager's first season in the Premier League. Outstanding.
Ball lifted in by Dewsbury Hall. Tarkowski. Yeah, one of Fabian Hürzeler's closest friends in the game is Oliver Glasner. So they put the rivalry aside and they speak on a regular basis. Verbruggen will get to that. There's Baliba. Now Van Hecke.
Everton's midfield just got to be a little bit wary of the positions of the two attacking midfield players with Brighton, and certainly this man on this far side also.
Yeah, Minte trying to get the better of Garner. He's emerged with the ball, has Yankuba Minte. Danny Welbeck, Minte. And it was Ayari who took aim, Eric Boonham in the way for Everton. But in a flash, Brighton were almost in. And even though Ryan Spencer plenty of the second half of last season at right back for Everton, he's not a right back. James Garner playing at left back is not a left back, and Albion looking to try and target those areas.
Yeah, Mintz has been fantastic in this first half and caused James Garner a few problems. Lovely first touch. I was thinking he was going to try and get a shot off, but then and Everton do really well getting the bodies back. But this is the real problem area for Everton in this left back position. James Garner, as we know, is a midfield player.
Well, he's having a major say in this game. He was heavily linked with a move to Everton before he went to Newcastle, and subsequently moved on to Albion.
Yeah, I just mentioned those positions O'Reilly's taken up between the lines, and that's making it difficult. Just he can play that long ball to Mintz, as we saw there from, I think it was Lewis Dunk, but also when they find the passes between the lines as a defender, you're not quite sure whether you should go in or hold your position.
Tarkowski looking to arrow that ball to Jack Grealish, and eventually it does find Grealish, who once again has stood his ground. Eric Boonham away from Ayari. Eric Boonham. It's Eric Boonham. The headlines were waiting.
Oh, just brilliantly. I thought the referee was going to blow up for a foul, because again it looked like a really great position where Everton would want a free kick. Just goes past the Brighton midfield play with ease, and then I thought, was he going to get a free kick? But it probably was the right decision from the referee in the end to play the advantage. Great strike on his left foot.
Tarkowski, Albion get the free kick. Garner getting through his defensive work. He may not be used to playing that position, but he will put a shift in wherever he plays, James Garner.
Yeah, he's just got to stick at it. It's not easy, I think. Recognise he's out of position. It's up against a quality player. Just stick at it, try and wear the winger down eventually.
Minte. He's had some promising moments in this first half. There's Vifa. Now O'Reilly. Van Hecker. He always tries to think forward. Jan-Paul Van Hecker tries to deliver those passes to open up the pitch. Right now on Sky Sports Premier League, it is Palace against Nottingham Forest. You can see that on Sky Sports Premier League. Goalless between the two so far. Who is there?
For how long?
I know. There's Matoma. Pickford's coming for it, and Pickford gets to it. There's Van Hecker. Dunk. Ayari. O'Reilly. There's the Everton goal scorer, Iliman Ndiaye. Turns into trouble that time. Ayari with the effort. Garner having a look at Pickford, who has a look at Garner, and Garner takes command. Van Hecker. There's Believer. They believe will be the next big money departure out of the Amex, but not in this transfer window, despite interest in him. Believer. Van Hecker stepping forward. That took a deflection and strikes the woodwork. And Ayari beaten to it. And it's away by Keane. Well, that's the second time that Brighton have struck the frame of the Everton goal.
Yeah, they've played well, Brighton. It just shows the domination there at different times. Your centre-backs that high up the pitch. There was a deflection there. I think it was maybe Jack Grealish, his backside. Tarkowski does well. That's where the free kick comes from. Just gets there in front. Again, a little bit of fortune for Everton, considering Everton's first game, the atmosphere in to start the game as well. They've done really well, Brighton.
Well, there's been a goal at Selhurst Park. Ismaila Sarr has scored for Crystal Palace. Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0, which will not be brightening the mood of Nuno. That's live on Sky Sports Premier League. De Kuyper. Ayari looking for Matoma, and is left grounded, and the card is coming out here for Eric Boonham.
I think he got a yellow card, didn't he, on Monday night for a really strong challenge on Ampadu. He's got the yellow card here, but about Ayari and O'Reilly, the positions that they're taking up, just on the shoulder of the two centre midfield players for Everton. And Guy Nirabuma.
Well, they have caused Everton problems at Brighton. But Everton have had the biggest moment so far. Grealish on the ground that time, and that's the right back now, Mats Vifa, who'll be booked. So that's both of Brighton's fullbacks in the book.
Yeah, and we mentioned that, didn't we, very early on. It looked like there was going to be a battle on this side. He's trying to get really tight and aggressive to Jack Grealish, but in some ways he's one of those wingers who likes that. He likes the contact, he likes people being around him.
And winning fouls like that, from Jack Grealish's perspective, will only increase the volume inside this place as well. There is nothing like an Evertonian scorned, as you two will know. There's Garner. Second off the ball there as the lever hits the deck. The referee happy for play to continue. Jack Grealish looking to find his old self again. Lifted in by Dewsbury Hall towards that far post. Dropped here, the Grealish. Jack Grealish on the stretch. And Brighton stretching too, but get the job done. Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Here's Garner. It's Garner. Can strike it from distance, but unable to deliver that time.
No, it was a lovely ball in from Dewsbury Hall. I think it's Jake O'Brien at the back post, and he almost just gets too much on it. It wasn't easy as he comes in at the back post. Lovely ball into the back post. And as I said, maybe just got a little nudge that meant he put a little bit more on it than what he would have liked. Yeah, just need to take a little bit off that, didn't he, Phil?
He's done the right thing, putting it straight back across the goal, but as you said, he just seemed to hit it a little bit too hard over everyone who was coming on the back post. Everton looking, should I say, dangerous from set pieces, causing a lot of trouble. As you'd expect, they've got a few boys that are over 6'4". I think a couple of the lads are, so causing a little bit of trouble.
Well, it's something that Brighton are looking to major on this season, improve their output from set pieces. Albion Hertzler is making a big play for that. Likewise, David Moyes, a big part of what Everton can deliver. There's Jack Grealish. Well, be given a little bit more freedom playing in the royal blue of Everton than maybe he had under Pep at Manchester City.
Yeah, I think in some ways, I mean, Jack was so successful at Manchester City in terms of trophies won, but I think if you're an Everton supporter, you want a little bit more of the Aston Villa Jack Grealish than you probably saw at Manchester City, where, you know, it seems like everything goes through him. You're trying to get him the ball constantly.
Yeah, he was the main man at Villa Park, whether playing left or in a number 10 position. Dropped too deep for Dean Smith's liking at times, and he was told in no uncertain times to get himself up the pitch at Villa Park. But he's already made an impact here today.
Hey!
And of course, he wears that number 18 shirt. He spoke to Wayne Rooney about it, who the Gaza wore it, but he also then reminded him that Phil Neville wore it.
That's why it's been vacant for so many years.
Afternoon, Phil.
To be fair, Gaz Barry wore it as well and he did well when he came here, so it's a pretty decent number to have.
Yeah, as did Phil Neville, by the way. Trying to get that, but Idrissa Gueye showed up in front of him. Just prefer playing in this number 10 role. Matt O'Reilly feels he's more connected to the team, operating just behind the striker, which is Danny Welbeck today.
You know, you can see he's got real quality, O'Reilly, in that position, technically very good. I certainly think players like that, I always feel like they come into their own a little bit more in the second half as the game opens up. There's more space appears.
Yeah, I had a bit of a conversation with his head coach, Fabian Hurtler, in the summer about his position. I do feel number 10 is the perfect role for him right now. Dye looking to try and put the squeeze on De Kuiper. Albion struggling to play themselves out from the back as Everton stepped onto their toes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes.
You may have heard that. 2 additional minutes at the end of the first half. Welbeck looking to link up with Ayari. Oh, that's loose to O'Reilly. O'Reilly's in, and Pickford with an important save for Everton. Everton off the hook, big time.
Well, Everton are very, very lucky to still have their clean sheet intact. Just don't expect it from that man. It's really good from O'Reilly. He reads the situation, but then can he just show a little bit more composure, know what's around him? Rather than going for the shot, maybe he does the pull back and it's 1-1. These Brighton supporters, players, staff on the bench will not be able to believe they're not yet on the score sheet.
I think you've been there, Caro. As soon as you start having more than 2 or 3 touches on the edge of your own box, you need to get rid of the ball as a centre-half. The worst thing you can do is turn around and blindly pass it back to your keeper, and I'm sure Tarky will be thanking Jordan at half-time.
I haven't been there, you have.
I've been there a couple of times.
We do have footage, Jamie. But Brighton and Hove Albion, that's 3 huge chances they've had in this first half. 3 opportunities to find a way past Jordan Pickford.
Well, maybe this new Everton stadium's a lucky stadium.
Not as far as Albion are concerned, but James Tarkowski here did not see Matt O'Reilly approaching.
Just thinks he can get round them. Obviously, it all happens so quickly. Very difficult for him to know what's around him. Maybe there was or there wasn't a shout. Well, maybe a little bit more composure. Shout from behind him. And that man's got his head in his hands and not his shirt in his mouth.
Well, he's there to make big saves, important saves, Jordan Pickford, and he's made a huge one there. That's Keane. Everton in command at the break. The first ever goal in a senior game scored here by Iliman Ndiaye, who scored the final one at Goodison. But Brighton and Hove Albion have had big chances. Matoma struck the crossbar, Van Hecke struck the post, and then Jordan Pickford at the last kept out Matt O'Reilly. At the break, Everton 1, Brighton 0.
Forest by a goal to nil. It came from Ismail Assar. Daniel Munoz, a really well-worked goal.
Well worked. The goal is something that you need when you're missing Eze now. You need those kind of players who take the place, and I think it's welcome. Crystal Palace always had this style, and I really like it. I think it's a good finish. It's important finish, and hopefully they manage to get the result they want.
It would be really easy to suggest that Nottingham Forest maybe had their eye off the ball a little because of everything that's going on around Nuno. But Palace have played really well in that first half, and we know they can do that, even without Eze.
Yeah, they have, and it's like what Louis just said there. Without Eze, we need other players to step up, and you see Ismail Assar there in the box, and it's a fantastic finish. And they've played well today. They might be looking at the Forest team and thinking, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty around the club, and you know we need to lay a marker. But you know, for them to play well in front of the home fans and get the 3 points is massive today.
It is also home sweet home for Everton at Hill Dickinson Stadium. 1 Premier League assist in 2 years for Jack Grealish before this game. He's got it for Iliman Ndiaye. Their top scorer last season is off and running.
And then this cat.
Have had chances. They struck the frame of the goal twice, and Jordan Pickford got James Tarkowski off the hook big time to keep out Matt O'Reilly. Hinshelwood immediately involved. Yankuba Minte showed it well at times in the first half, and he's done well again here, away by Idrissa Gueye, who just always seems to know where to be.
Strong start from Brighton in the second half. Hinshelwood driving right through that midfield. It's a really good football initially.
Well, we haven't heard of any injury as of yet in terms of why Carlos Baleba has been withdrawn, but that change has been made at the break. There's Keane. History tells you that the home team doesn't usually win this fixture. No win in the last 9 Premier League meetings by a home team, but Everton have the edge here. Tarkowski is closed down initially by Danny Welbeck. The flag now is up on the far side of the pitch.
Yeah, just looking down at David Moyes, and the reason being is because obviously covering the game on Monday night, he was not too pleased with Jordan Pickford when he had the ball at his feet in the lead up to the the penalty. He felt he should have gone long with the ball. He went short. In a similar situation, they just put Tarkowski in a little bit of trouble.
Off the head of Dunk. Idrissa Gueye, that's Eric Boonham. There's Ndiaye. Moved on by O'Reilly. Fabian Hertzler down below us is urging his team to squeeze up the pitch. Idrissa Gueye. Dewsbury Hall. There goes Jack Grealish. Both of Albion's fullbacks are on yellow cards after being booked in the first half. That's Vifa on the right and Max de Kuiper on the left. There's Keane trying to pick out Iliman Ndiaye. Perfect ball. Just gets away though from Iliman Ndiaye and invited de Kuiper to prize it from him. There's Idrissa Gueye. Now Tarkowski. Barry. O'Brien. Idrissa Gueye again. Here's Ndiaye. That's Tarkowski. Vifa in the way. There's Hinchelwood. Can play a variety of positions, but central midfield is where he wants to be. Iliman Ndiaye. Eric Boonham. Boonham trying to hit the space, and he hit the deck and gets the free kick.
Yeah, there's a couple of times he's done that now around the edge of the box. Just gone by players like they aren't there. Don't often see that from central midfield players. It's a real asset for him. I remember last summer when he came in, there was a little bit of excitement around Boonham when he came in. Around his pre-season performances. He didn't fully establish himself, did he really, last season? In that position. It was a really good start, certainly in this game today.
And he's a player who really impressed Steven Gerrard as soon as Steven Gerrard walked through the doors at Aston Villa. Leighton Baines having a look at this. We mentioned Phil Jagielka's goal here in the Veterans game, assisted by Leighton Baines, of course. But he sat in the dugout here. But he would be licking his lips to this kind of situation. Everton attacking the south stand end of Hill Dickinson Stadium. The new home end here, the new Gladys Street. Grealish and Dewsbury Hall are both having a look at it. Sent in by Dewsbury Hall, and don't try to get to it, but didn't make contact, and it sails behind.
Yeah, Dewsbury Hall there, not too happy. Feels like one of his teammates should have got on the end of it. He feels like he's put a quality ball in. He just gets away from them.
Well, Albion put so much work into their goal kicks now. Fabian Herzler sees them just as important as corner kicks. A new set piece. De Kuiper, Mitoma. Stopped in his tracks by
I think Brighton want to get Mitoma in this game a lot more. We've seen flashes of quality in that first half. Most notably, they almost put Brighton in front. And in the main, it was actually Mintet who caused them Everton more problems.
There's Thierry Barry. Idrissa Gueye. Now Grealish.
As Jack Grealish rolls that, it just says, hit me. Goes through Minter's legs, and the goalkeeper just can't get down quick enough. Lovely strike. goal fitting for the opening game in a new stadium.
Well, he'll always back his technique, will James Garner, whether striking a dead ball or striking a ball like that. And it arrowed in past Bart Verbruggen in the Brighton goal, and Everton have breathing space.
Well, he had an opportunity in the first half where it came in a not too dissimilar position. He tried to curl it in the far corner. This time he went laces. I think he went between the defender's legs, but in off the post. You'll take that.
Yeah, an assist again from Jack Grealish, and that, not like before where you think, okay, he's beat a man and put a cross in. This is a different element to having Jack Grealish at the club that opposition players will be attracted to because of his quality. If you're a wide player and you leave your fullback 1v1 with Jack Grealish, we saw what happened in the first half where Everton go 1-0 in front. Then your wide player comes and tries to double up, make it a 2v1. That means then your fullback is free. You see the consequences there with a great strike from Garner.
Well, this place is singing now. What's the Brighton response? There's Yankuba Minte. And that deflects behind for a Brighton corner. Work to do. Well, the fans were asked to bring the spirit of Goodison. They brought the Goodison songbook. But Brighton looking to try and silence this place now. Yankuba Minte, hunted down by Ndai. Gay looking to get to that. Here's Iliman Ndai. Leading the charge upfield for Everton. O'Reilly. Well, bring the goals was the demand of David Moyes when David Moyes returned to Everton last season. Sean Dyche had done such a good job defensively that Everton didn't have to work on the defensive side of the game. They knew scoring goals and being more of an attacking threat was what they had to work on. There's Danny Welbeck. Gay goes down, and Everton get the free kick.
He wasn't alive enough, Danny Welbeck had a great chance. If he could have pulled the trigger as soon as the ball dropped at his feet. I felt like the chance was just there for half a second. There, he needs to go with the left foot. Tarkovsky just lets him get on his blind side. And again, another certainly half chance for Brighton.
Chances have come their way today. They've not been able to take them. Barry wins the flick there. Here's O'Brien. In the way was Dunk.
And that was Barry. We saw evidence of that in the first half. He won a big header against Van Hekken. I think this time it was against Dunk. Shake O'Brien in.
He won so many aerial duels in La Liga last season, wearing the shirt of Villarreal. Tieno Barry, always a threat in the air, and he's right slap bang in the middle of the Brighton 6-yard box as Everton prepare to take this corner. Swung in by Dewsbury Hall, and it was Barry who was up in front of Verbruggen but couldn't keep it down.
So often it's been Tarkovsky who's been the target for Everton on corners, but this is twice now. The ball's just gone onto Barry's head. He just put too much on it. Similar one in the first half as well in a similar area.
Garner looking to try and leave his calling card. Tieno Barry's got the nod ahead of Beto today, leading that Everton attack. Spent just the one season at Villarreal. His price increased by £14 million in that one season. goes Minte. Opens out Wick Keane. Welbeck in the middle again. Important touch away by Tarkowski for Everton. There's Van Hecke. Matoma. Die for company.
Yeah, it's that man on the far side, Minte again, causing problems for Everton. There's still enough there for Brighton just to keep going in this game. Still a long way to go.
There's Dunk. Another goal at Selhurst Park. Callum Hudson-Odoi has levelled up for Nottingham Forest. This is how he's done it. 1-1 at Selhurst Park. Meanwhile, Iori is kept out by Pickford. Welcome Albion again. The Kuiper. Matoma runs out of pitch.
Yeah, another half chance certainly for Brighton. Again, really good football on the edge of the box. That's a shot up straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. We've certainly had enough attempts, and some a lot better than that.
Well, Fabian Herzler was really happy with his performance last week against Fulham. He called it the benchmark. Jordan Pickford being spoken to by Stuart Atwell. Arms behind back. Talking point this week.
Obviously talk about the new rule, isn't he, with the goalkeepers keeping hold of it. I mean, would that be different on the fact that it was a goal kick rather than just being in the keeper's hands?
Yeah, the 8-second countdown from when it's open play, when the goalkeeper has control of it. You'd have used every single second, wouldn't you, in that kind of situation? And Kuba Minte. Eric Boonham runs into trouble after being initially helped out by Jack Grealish. Alan Stubbs was Everton's secret agent in getting Jack Grealish over the line. One person you don't want to run into, maybe on holiday, Phil, when you're away, is Alan Stubbs, but Jack Grealish did.
Unlucky, Jack. To be fair, Stubbsy, what a guy. They may have had a couple of pints together.
Everybody's on the bench. The Sanders striker is oh, right.
Beto being spoken to by David Moyes, so changes look imminent. Looks like Carlos Alcaraz is having a word or two as well down below us.
I mean, should be an easy game to win.
Nice touch from Welbeck. There's Minte.
Rasmus is on the bench.
Tried to get the ball to Yankuba Minte a few times here this afternoon, targeting James Garner in that left-back position. Minte's away from him, and then once again it was Jack Grealish doing the defending for Everton.
Yeah, there's been so much to admire for a lot of today from Brighton.
2 games straight.
Certainly.
Leave him on the bench.
The attacking play's been outstanding, just lacked the finish, but he's been at the heart of it.
That's not true.
Minte again causing problems with Garner on that far side, and Jack Grealish comes back to give Brighton the corner. Some of the football from Brighton's been outstanding. We know that, we're used to that now over these last few years. But the finish has been sorely lacking.
Garner takes care of business at the near post. He was booked a few moments ago, James Garner. Matoma. Matoma trying to go through the gap. O'Brien doing the defending, helped out by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. But Everton have had to try and get through that kind of work here this afternoon to try and stem and stop Brighton and Hove Albion. There they come again, Matoma. Eric Boonen. Eric Boonen standing his ground, and Everton get the free kick. Confirmation of the yellow card for dissent a few moments ago for James Garner. So Everton about to make the double change. Beto and Carlos Alcaraz, the two coming on. It's the end of the game for Thierry Barry and also for Iliman Ndiaye, who is in the bricks and mortar of this place. His name stitched across this place because he has scored the first senior goal at this place.
Yeah, something he will always remember, and every Evertonian will also. You see the celebrations there. Huge moment for him and the football club.
So Alcaraz on and Beto on for Everton. A couple of changes look imminent from Albion. Diego Gomez, one of those who is stripped off down below us and will be entering the action shortly. Well, we are coming from the banks of the Mersey to the banks of the Thames after this. Fulham against Manchester United is live from 4:30. Diallo playing for Manchester United today. One change to that United 11. Ferdi Kadioglu is the other Brighton substitute who's ready to go. Scored on his last trip to Merseyside at Anfield against Liverpool. There's Idrissa Gueye. Now Keane. Van Hecke. Dewsbury Hall in the way. Grealish looking to try and release Beto, who's faced by Dunk. Beto moves up the gears. It's Beto! And Dunk at the stretch. Goal kick is the outcome.
Showed real pace there, didn't he, Phil?
Yeah, I thought he'd gone past Dunk, but fair play to him. He got back in, got the tackle. Here's a goal kick, but it's exactly what Beto's been brought on to do now. He's going to have to try and stretch the defence and potentially take advantage of some tired legs out there.
So here come the Albion changes. Max de Kuiper is withdrawn. On comes Ferdi Kadioglu, and Yassine Ayari is also taken off, and Diego Gomez is on in his place. Fabian Herzl fairly happy with his squad. They got their business done early this summer. Any business they did have to get done. Albion, we mentioned in the game earlier, the amount of money they make from how they run the club. Chelsea have paid for Brighton's Amex Stadium 3 times over with the money that they've spent at Brighton and Hove Albion. £300 million. Tarkowski. Van Hecke with the climb. There's Grealish. Fired into Dewsbury Hall. Beto. Iribunum. Welbeck's touch. Diego Gomez. There's Matoma. Gomez with that ball in, and Pickford with eyes on it and hands on it. Still potentially something in this game for Albion into the final quarter of the contest. Eric Boonham down here for Everton.
Yeah, there, as I said, there's still a bit of time to go. Brighton was here to get one. You can imagine this new stadium getting a little bit nervous. Vitally important Everton can hold on here and get those 3 points. A huge for him and the club, the new stadium, first game.
Well, there is Dan Meese, the architect. His vision is complete. The instructions from Everton were, don't concentrate on making the new stadium fancy, make it a cauldron. He's made it both. He was told to make it an event, and he has delivered. 800 million pounds, a capacity of just over 52,000. The last time Everton played a home game in front of a crowd of 50,000 plus. Jamie Carragher may just have been on the Gladys Street. 1980s.
What game was it?
Might have been Liverpool, end of the season, 1985.
Everton 1-1, Paul Wilkinson.
You never let me down, did you? But in terms of the corporate facilities as well here, makes the money. 4,000 more corporate seats now. And this, a moment of history.
Yeah, it was. And listen, I think for the large majority of this game, Brighton are the team who probably showed the more quality, but they just haven't had the finish. Jack Grealish at the heart of both goals. And I'm pleased for James Garner, because it hasn't been easy for him. He's playing out of position, up against Brighton's best player today. And he really has stuck at it. He deserves that.
Dwight McNeil is coming on for Everton, and he will replace Tim Eric Boonham. So we wait to see what that means in terms of Everton's personnel and shape. Dwight McNeil does want to play in a more central position, but advanced central position. For now, it looks like Keenan Dewsbury Hall has dropped a little bit deeper, and Carlos Alcaraz into that number 10 position. McNeil on the right. Gomez. There's Welbeck just behind Matoma, who had to stretch and couldn't take the ball with him. That's Garner. Grealish. Looking to try and shake off Vifa, who's had to watch himself since that yellow card in the first half. Beto putting himself around. There's Matoma, hunted down by Idrissa Gueye.
He's been doing that for years for Everton, that man.
He's 35 years of age now, is Idrissa Gueye. He's come back for more this season, patrolling that Everton midfield and closing doors. 51,759 the official attendance in here today. Kuba Minte, again twisting, turning, opening up space, but defended by Tarkowski. Everton were hoping to get an out-and-out left-back fit and firing as soon as possible. Adam Asnu was on the bench originally today, the 19-year-old, but just beforehand, before the game, he was taken out of the substitutes bench, or off the substitutes bench, injured. And of course, they're waiting for Vitaly Mikalenko to get back to full fitness too. Matoma's ball in. It's been a frustrating day for Fabian Hürzeler. Plenty to admire from his Brighton team, but not able to take the chances that came their way.
Yeah, I think they played really well. Minted on that far side. Arguably been the best player on the pitch. Just haven't showed that quality where you need it most, in the box.
There's Matoma. Delivering with the outside of his right boot, delicious ball in. Yankuba Minte, the claiming handball. Penalty. Penalty for Brighton and Hove Albion, which could change everything in this game.
Well, there was a very contentious penalty midweek. Oh no, not midweek, on Monday night I should say, against Tarkowski. I think this one, I felt the one on Monday night was a penalty. I'm not quite sure about this one.
That's outside the box, is it?
I mean, I think that would be incredibly
outside
harsh.
the box?
And the arm is right by his body. He's really close.
Well, being checked here by James Bell. Phil, your thoughts?
I think it's probably going to be given.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a
because obviously it's been given on field, and I think they're not going to overturn it. It's
give
so
it?
harsh. I think if you're that person in that, it's a natural body shape for you to throw. When you're throwing yourself at the ball, he's not exaggerated his body shape or anything, but unfortunately he's hit.
Initially, I thought it was his other hand, and I thought, okay, that is going to be a penalty. His arm's a bit wide, but I think it's his right arm. It almost feels so tight to his body, and he's thrown himself to try and block it. I think it's unfortunate.
If you've played football, you understand there's nothing you can do about that. That's just pure luck.
Gives it.
You know, he's thrown himself in front of the ball.
Gonna give it.
Yeah, the check is complete. It is a penalty, and a chance for Brighton to get themselves right back into this contest. Matt O'Reilly has taken their last couple of penalties, but it's Danny Welbeck who has placed the ball down here. Faced by Jordan Pickford.
And he missed the penalty. He missed it. Is that Danny Welbeck? Oh my goodness, penalty missed. Yeah, nah, Everton, this stadium must be Pickford.
Danny Welbeck!
Saved
down
it.
by
He
Jordan
didn't even miss it. Pickford saved it. This stadium is your lucky charm.
Big moment for the Everton goalkeeper in his new home.
This stadium is your lucky charm. Oh
well, he's got history with saving penalties, Jordan Pickford. More often than not in the national colours, but this time in the Everton colours. And this place has absolutely erupted.
Denied by Pickford. Denied by
And again, that just sums up Brighton's afternoon.
That's mad.
And absolutely no quality whatsoever in that penalty box.
Well, I mentioned Matt O'Reilly had taken the last couple of penalties for Brighton, including one which he stuck away against Fulham last week. Since João Pedro left in the summer, they have been practicing penalties as often as possible. But Danny Welbeck thwarted there by Jordan Pickford. Goalkeepers always dislike it when we say they guess the right way. A lot of the time they know what they're doing, and Jordan Pickford comes up with the goods there for Everton. Perez looking to step in. You mentioned earlier, Jamie, that this could be a lucky stadium for Everton.
Listen, we all need luck at different times.
Volleyball.
Rolled the luck today, Everton.
Volleyball, what's going on?
Almost felt like it's meant to be throughout this game, and Everton do win this first game here. The supporters have waited so long to be here now. The atmosphere has just gone up a level on the back of that penalty save from Pickford. There we go. Can we see Welbeck on there?
Having a look. One thing's for sure, I didn't see Jay Carragher on the... But another big moment for Jordan Pickford in goal for Everton, as he's serenaded by the Evertonians. And it's just not been Brighton's day in front of goal here. Dewsbury Hall gesturing towards the Everton fans at the South Stand end to raise the volume even more.
It's not young anymore.
They're looking at that for a penalty.
Just like they've been ready here, lucky.
It's obviously not a penalty, they haven't given that one. But that penalty save's vitally important for Everton. You can imagine how nervous this stadium would be, how the players would be on the pitch now. The lift that would give Brighton. Over 10 minutes to go.
It's galvanised everyone now, everyone's chanting, everyone seems to be happy, so well done, Jordan.
Ball arrowed in towards that near post. 3,000 Brighton and Hove Albion fans are not happy away to our left in the north corner, north-east corner of the stadium.
Oh, there for scoring the first goal ever.
Kadioglu. Everton fans singing about marching down the Goodison Road. Now it's pretty much marching down the Dock Road and Regent Road to get here. Matoma. Diego Gomez. There's Hinchelwood. There's Minte, who's seen plenty of the ball this afternoon, and Garner has seen plenty of him. Matoma. Hinchelwood. Dewsbury Hall out with it himself. Vifa. Pickford gets to that.
You see on the bottle there, Jordan Pickford drinking from one, then looking at the other. It gets handed to Welbeck. Guess it's right.
Well, the bottle said 50-50, 50% down one side, 50% down the other. Was it all in the eyes? Danny Welbeck took his time. There's Jack Grealish. McNeil. There's O'Brien. Only in 2017 have Brighton failed to win one of their opening two Premier League games. Lost both that particular season. And there's Jordan Pickford's record, the immovable object in the Everton goal.
Yeah, it is. Certainly you see for Everton and England. Penalty saving expert. But the thing that shocked me most, that Neville Southall only saved two. That's just Premier League.
just Premier League. Maybe didn't face that many.
There was no football, was there, before the Premier League?
There's O'Brien. He'll be getting a call later.
Never will be made up with me.
Dewsbury Hall. Dwight McNeil on the move here.
Twice Michael Keane's played that ball. Fantastic. One side of the pitch to the other.
There's Alcaraz. Brian Gruder will be coming on shortly for the visitors, whose next assignment in the Premier League is a home game against Manchester City. And let's not forget, they've had some really good moments here today. Albion hit the frame of the goal twice, missed a penalty. Pickford coming up with a big save to deny O'Reilly after Tarkowski's mistake too. It could have been a whole lot different. Problem here for Jake O'Brien.
Andy Hoban is just cramp, not a pulled hamstring.
Well, they've built the stadium. Now David Moyes wants to complete building his squad. So short of bodies when they return for pre-season because so many players left here when their contracts ended, and also the loan players. FIFA withdrawn by Albion. Brian Gruder comes on. He showed it well towards the end of last season. It looks like Jake O'Brien's okay to give it a go for now. Well, he's still here, Seamus Coleman, at the start of another season, the 36-year-old.
Will he ever leave, Phil?
I hope not. I'm sure there's a role here for him afterwards if he wants one, but no, he's still part of the squad. He's still obviously a valuable member of the team, still the captain. But yeah, doesn't play as much maybe as he would like, as much anymore, but what a fantastic leader, and what a great person he is.
Interim joint manager briefly last season.
Him and Bainesy, yeah, quite a few appearances between those two, isn't there?
Idrissa Gueye.
Wow, Jack Grealish.
Stepping in, likewise Dewsbury Hall, who was grounded but still had the presence of mind to stick out a boot. He will have injured himself in the process. It looks like a bit of cramp. Except the pitch was bigger, longer by 5 metres here, but it was a Goodison. McNeil's done well. McNeil again. O'Brien, bit of room here for Alcaraz. Alcaraz goes in low. There's O'Brien. Beto looking to try and attack it. It was beaten to it. Now it's Grealish. It's McNeil, didn't really catch hold of it. It's Beto who slams it wide.
Oh, Jack Grealish should have 3 assists. Sets it up lovely for McNeil. As this ball comes in, controls it, kills it dead here, Jack Grealish. And again, like he did for James Garner, plays that pass. Lovely weighted, so he can come on and it's the first time, just scuffs it.
Grealish has been really good. I like, I don't know. Can't front this. He's been absolutely smashing.
Dewsbury Hall told to turn by the Evertonians. He does just that. McNeil to his right hand, Beto. It's Dwight McNeil who tried to smuggle it home at the near post.
This is
But Everton hitting the wide open spaces here now.
Yeah, Dewsbury Hall. In that position between midfield and defence. And Dwight McNeil initially is thinking, kind of bend it in that far corner, but the defender's just trying to push him onto his right foot. So, tries to score at that near post.
Yellow card there for Keane in Dewsbury Hall. Brighton cracked the code here, not that way. There's Grealish. And it's been another high-pressure game for these Everton players to make sure they didn't lose here the first game at the new stadium, to try and win here on their big day.
Yeah, really clever from Jack Grealish there in that situation, stuck in the corner flag. I think it's it against Matoma, make sure his team. The goal kick.
That should have been a corner, actually.
I'm not sure there's enough evidence there either way. Probably just sums up Brighton's day. I mean, the Brighton manager, looking at the first two games of the season, I think he'd be pleased with a lot of it, but not with the points total that his team have. A minute away from getting 3 points on the opening day against Fulham. For a lot of this game,
Pickford deserved this.
being the better team, certainly had the better chances, showed the better quality in between the boxes. And Everton being a lot more clinical than Brighton. And that's why they're going to end up with the 3 points.
We will have 7 additional minutes at the end of this game. Idrissa Gueye, after clever work again. Jack Grealish once again warming to the task in the royal blue of Everton. And the bobble to match.
7 minutes. 7 minutes to play.
O'Reilly. Alcaraz did well and then hits the deck. And the yellow card is out here for Ferdi Karioglu. I mentioned next up for Albion is a home game against Manchester City after their League Cup tie this week. For Everton, it is a League Cup tie here against Mansfield, and a trip to Wolves as they look to build on this today. Harrison Armstrong, he's from this city, from West Derby. He's being readied and is about to come up. Tarkowski. Garner with a high boot. Keane trying to deal with it.
Yeah, they want the penalty kick. The Brighton players, the referees having none of it. I think it was that challenge there. It's definitely not the second one from Michael Keane, but maybe the first one initially from Garner. Maybe just on the edge of the box, actually.
That's not
touch and go.
Come on, that.
Check is complete. And here comes the Everton change. Harrison Armstrong is on and off. Goes Jack Grealish.
Yeah, really promising debut performance in an Everton shirt. Man of the match. 2 assists, probably should have 3 assists. Dwight McNeil does what he should do a few minutes ago. Everton have brought in a lot of players over the summer. There's more to come, but there's absolutely no doubt which one has excited the Evertonians more than any other, and it's that man.
He's found a new home. He's found a new adoring public. So Jack Grealish withdrawn. On comes Harrison Armstrong from the West Derby area of Liverpool, who had a successful spell on loan at Derby last season. And the 18-year-old midfielder is on. There's Dunk. Tarkowski in command. Dunk, caught by Beto. Stuart Atwell has just been told to delay this while VAR have a check of this challenge by Beto on Lewis Dunk.
He's got for the ball there, Beto. Goes for the ball, Dunk just gets there before, just catches him. Yeah, yellow card, right decision.
Yeah, check complete, yellow card for Beto. No further punishment. Away by Keane. And so again, looking to try and cause trouble for that Brighton back line. We'll go up to frustrate the visitors. Phil, in terms of you being here today, so much talk about this place, about this day. It's finally happened, it's finally here. Looks like Everton will end with a victory. How important is it?
Yeah, it's massively important. I'm actually quite relieved. There was all the talk about obviously leaving Goodison and all the talk about coming down here, obviously to the Hill Dickinson, and then there was a talk about making sure we get off to a good start of the season, and hopefully, I don't think I can curse us too much with a minute and a half left, but it was important to get obviously some points in the bank today, and hopefully the boys have done that today.
Well, the home team being serenaded, being carried home at their new home. For Albion, they will wonder how they haven't scored here today. As I mentioned earlier, it will be the first time since 2017 that they will not have won one of their opening 2 Premier League games. Frustrating for him, but still plenty to build on. Just leans Beto out of the way. Tarkowski. There's O'Brien. Minte. Fans giving the referee a nudge. Maybe to keep a clean sheet here. Tarkowski doing the defending again. That's Dewsbury Hall. Everton with smiles as wide as the Mersey, at the side of the Mersey, in one of the most important days in this club's history. The stadium opens with a victory for Everton. The goals from Iliman Ndiaye and James Garner. Albion missed the penalty, they missed a whole host of other opportunities too, but it's Everton who take the points. They've beaten Brighton by 2-0.
Welcome to viewers watching on Sky Sports Premier League. We're at Craven Cottage for Fulham against Manchester United, but you've just seen that 1-1 draw between Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. Palace led in that game with Callum Hudson-Odoi with the equaliser, but a really big win for Everton. Disappointment, as we saw, for Brighton and for Fabian Hurtler, but a great debut in the Premier League for Jack Grealish at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's been a fantastic afternoon for Everton. Couldn't really, Ashley Young, have gone much better for them.
No, of course not. We said before the game even started that they wanted to put on a good performance, and you know, I think they were fantastic today. Jack Grealish himself getting 2 assists, you know, gives him so much confidence, fills the team with confidence, and you know, it's the perfect way to start the new stadium.
Let's get some reaction from Jack Grealish. He's with Pete Merlenstein.
Well, Jack Ellerman, congratulations. That was a brilliant performance. Just how important was that victory today?
Yeah, no, it was massive. You know, our first game at the new stadium. We wanted to put on a show, you know, for the supporters, and yeah, I think we certainly did that. I always say playing against Brighton, you know, is one of the toughest games, you know, the way they play. So yeah, we're very happy to get the win.
Ellerman, you scored the last goal at Goodison Park. You scored the first goal here. How special of a feeling is that for you?
Yeah, it's very special. Obviously, we're coming here to try to get the victory. Obviously, obviously we didn't begin the Premier League well last weekend, but no, it felt good to come here today and give the fans what they deserved.
2 Premier League assists for you in a game for the first time in 3 years, Jack. So, just how special was the performance for you as well?
Yeah, no, it's massive. You know, I think I absolutely love my time, you know, at Man City, and I had a great 4 years there, won a lot of things, but I don't know, this summer I felt like it was time for change, and I've said before, you know, in a different interview, as soon as I spoke to the manager, David Moyes, on FaceTime, I knew this was the place that I wanted to come, and yeah, there was a lot of reasons why I wanted to come here, and yeah, today shows why.
Talk to me about you two playing together as well, starting together, of course. How good of a partnership could this be?
Yeah, I think it could be great. Obviously, Jack is an amazing player. We all know that. Obviously, today he's shown what he could do. Obviously, assisted me for the first goal as well, and the second. So now, I think it can be very good this season.
Well, the manager, he hasn't played us once together in training, and I said to Italy yesterday, I says, any chance of the manager playing us together? So this is our first time, and yeah, hopefully many more goals and assists for both of us to come.
So what you're saying was all your choice then?
I hope so, yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Well done today.
Louis Sahara is here pitchside at Craven Cottage. Fantastic to hear from Jack Grealish and to think about the impact that he potentially could have.
Yeah, it's brilliant. He's a terrific player, and he shows, you know, I think like many years, his talent, his capacity to break down any defense. He was maybe a bit shy, not going into the line and crossing and all those things. And that's what he done today. He's been brilliant, and I think it's all about the connection. First with the other wingers, but the other strikers. You can see that he's got this enthusiasm, and he wants to prove people wrong, maybe, because he had been criticized. And there is a World Cup, that's what we talked about before. There is a possibility for him to revive his, let's say, chance to be in that squad. So it's brilliant to see that.
We were wondering how that partnership might work between Iliman Ndiaye and Jack Grealish. It sounds like one, even though they've not played like this in training, and it looks like one that might work, and it sounds like one that they might enjoy.
Yeah, I think so. I think you look at the smiles on both their faces at the end of the game. They're both delighted. Obviously, one gets the assist and another one scores the goal. I think David Moyes has not trained it